Well, hello. How are you this evening? My name is Lisa Loring, and it is Monday night. Getting ready to do, actually, well, technically it might be like midnight. Is it midnight now? Almost. So it's still Monday night in my neck of the woods. Getting ready to do the reading for Tuesday, July 20th. Marcella, I try to do I have been, except for like one or two times, been doing the readings the night before for the next day. I don't know, maybe I'll start doing them during the day. I don't know. I feel like doing it at night. Night is when I'd end up doing it. Anyway, how was your day? How was that energy? I had a lot of ideas about what I wanted to do. There was that eight of wands energy coming in. And really nice. I did a yin yoga practice tonight. My neuropathy is off the charts. In fact, I haven't felt my left hand since sometime last week. There it is. It's still kind of functional, but anyway, I'll play piano after this. That helps a lot with it. But I did yin yoga. You know, I'm surprised I forgot. You know, there's so many things that we forget to do for ourselves. But that was the theme of the reading last night, was about taking those moments to do stuff for yourself in order to sort of, like I always found myself in the right place at the right time today, as long as I, didn't try to do all the various ideas that I was coming up with that I felt like doing. I had a lot of energy. Anyways, so yeah, let's do the reading tonight and see what the energies are for tomorrow, because taking various little breaks as I went throughout the day to kind of recollect myself, I like both of that, served me well as I moved through the day. And therefore I was able to serve others well and feel, not fatigued. If I had attempted half the things that was going on. Anyway, we'll do that. I'll think about that tomorrow. Anyway. All right, having a little saffron and chamomile tea. I'm going to have to buy another box of that before I go traveling. Check out my video. Oh my God, yeah, one of the ideas I had was the fact that I unexpectedly did a video on this great tree. I think I've told some people, I've definitely posted it on Facebook and whatever, about transplanting my neighbor's garden in its entirety because she ended up not being able to take it with her when she moved to her new place. So instead of letting it get mowed down, which that was basically what it was slated to happen, I transplanted it, and I lost a rose bush. Hi guys. Oh, I gotta check these cards. What's going on here? Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords. Yeah, ideas. Lots of ideas. A rose bush. Yeah, swords. One rose bush didn't make it, but I think that's it so far. Not bad. Got a lot of planting, and this particular tree is coming back. I'm really excited about it. So it was really meaningful to me to be able to do something on that level, and especially to do it for her. And that tree meant a lot to her as well. So I'm happy about it. So tonight we'll use the Morgan Greer deck. I don't use this deck very often, and I haven't used it in quite some time. I've done it on camera, but it probably was like fall of 2019. So it's been about a year and a half since I touched this deck on camera. The cards are tiny. I don't know if this deck comes in a larger set. I might actually take this one traveling with me. If there's ever a deck that you want me to use, if there's a deck that you know about, I might have it. I just haven't pulled from it yet. I have a lot of different decks. But if there's a deck that you want me to use or get, just put in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. All the videos on any one of the platforms, on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube where I post them. Make sure the message gets to whomever, and whatever kind of platform they like to use. Some people are strictly YouTubers. Some people strictly Facebookers. Some people, whatever, Donations are accepted. Thank you so much of those of you who do. And if you want your own private reading, just email, direct message me or email me at lisa.loring@gmail.com. So what are the energies for Tuesday, July 20th? Gosh, 2/3 of July are over. I still think that taking those breaks, and that was basically the reading that came up for Sunday, really resonated in yesterday's reading. I think that's something we need to continue to do to stay in feeling. And the first, the first card that comes up is the Ten of Wands. We've seen this one. We've definitely seen that one. I love these cards because they're very vibrant and they're very clear to see, even in their smaller, even though they're small. So very much like I'm noticing the leaves coming off the branches of this card. I'm going to go ahead and angle the camera down so you can start to see that. See my yin yoga like stuff going on in the background there. One of the things I'm noticing are these branches coming off leaves coming off the branches that he's carrying, the branches that he's cut down. He's worked really hard and he's carrying them. That was what caught my eye when I went out to just check on my little tree this morning. We also have now the Nine of Cups. So we have two high numbers from two different suits, Wands and then Cups. And we've got another card turning. And it looks like, yep, the Four of Swords. So again, see, taking the breaks. Got to do it or else you're going to get impaled. It can feel like a lot. So those are the three cards. Do I want another card? Yeah, two more popping out. Okay, so Four of Wands and the Eight of Cups coming out together. All right, so, and then the bottom of the deck is the Moon. The unconscious, our unconscious thoughts. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn these cards around so you can see them. So, you know, I also noted the rapidity with which I delivered the message last night, the reading last night. Bam, bam, bam. It all was like cut and dry. That was like the day, right? How many moments like that did you have? I had that reading done from commentary to end by under 14 minutes. Let's see what we have tonight. Okay, so Ten of Wands. I noticed like I said, what I noticed on the branches of that tree I transplanted were those tiny little leaves growing off. So, you know, something is growing, something new is growing. There's some, you know, there's some project that you know, maybe we did transplant or we're about to transplant and we're looking to transplant, bringing it to a new level, higher level of, in order to bring us to a higher level of emotional well-being. You know, it's the Nine of Cups, but it's not the Ten of Cups, which would be kind of that pinnacle of emotional well-being and being completely full. But the Nine of Cups is a card of being, because it's a number 9, it is an actionable number. And like today was a number 9 day. It was an Aries ruled day, Mars ruled day. And when we have that, we're very motivated to, you know, we have a lot of drive, we have a lot of ambition, and we want to move forward with things that we've committed to, things that we've planned, some plans that we've created. And so we have a 10 and a 9 here. So again, very high numbers. And so we may feel, and this person has obviously been taking part in some of his, in some of those cups. He has that look of, you know, super cheerfulness that we get when we're, you know, drunk on life, for instance. And so what we're doing is, you know, what I'm feeling is that we're transplanting, we're taking something and we're transplanting it into, and we're really putting all of our sights, and he's looking directly at this, you know, through what he's transplanting, you know, putting into the living waters of, I'm feeling the living waters of And it may just be that he's going to put something in the water to help it grow and start to create some roots before he goes and puts it down. So, we're putting our ambitions, we're putting it into the living waters of our emotions. We're kind of sticking them in. We're almost taking it as a litmus test, if you will, to see how we feel about this project a little bit more, to help it to create some roots so we can bring it to its next level of fruition. And if you've done any gardening, if you've done any planting, that's often a way that you do. You start things out either as tiny seeds in a very little bit of soil that you continue to nurture with a lot of water. You have to water these things quite a bit in order for the seed to begin to germinate and sprout roots. Another way to do it is to take a clipping of something. Take a clipping of something that had grown somewhere else in the past, and to transplant it into something else. So, taking some project and put it and transplant it into some water for a little while, so that root structure can start to grow, and then you take what's a little more of a stable plant once it's begun that root structure, and plant it into the soil. And this takes some time. This takes some waiting. So we have the Four of Swords here, and you've got to take time and patience with these kinds of projects. They don't happen overnight. That plant I talked about earlier, I planted that, gosh, like 2.5 weeks ago, and honestly, I'd almost given up hope, which was part of the reason I was so thrilled this morning, because we transplanted it, then the leaves kind of died. I'm like, so I cut it back, quite a bit, and in order to give it give the roots the opportunity to start to grow, rather than try to set all of its energy up into these larger branches. That's the general rule. And but even with that, it wasn't looking good up until this morning. And so, it took time, it took patience, it took a lot of watering, it took a lot of fertilizing, it took a lot of attention and faith too. So, I had a lot of faith that this was going. I put a lot of hopes and dreams into that this plant would survive, and not only survive but thrive. And that's what we really want to do, and that's where we're coming into with the Four of Wands. So with that time and that patience, we've got to take these moments, and no matter what you're doing, and no matter how many projects or whatever, however you're working this kind of energy, whether it's in a work situation, it's some kind of new project that you're doing, or some kind of project that you're reviving and turning into something else, you're transforming it into something else. We have to take the time to let that grow, consider, do a lot of back and forth, reconsider, check in with ourselves constantly, so that way our thoughts aren't taking us away and taking us out of our purpose, or taking us out of our faith. The Suit of Cups is about faith. It's about our, tapping into our spirit, tapping into our own spirituality. It's the faith. It is the faith. You have to have faith in things to grow. You have to give them their breath. You have to, know that it's not completely all in your hands. And I love that, his hands aren't even showing. It's just his head and a smile, and he's just really excited, and he has a lot of hope, and he's just having a great time, and he's living his life while all of this is kind of going on. Like you have to tend it, but you can't, look over it so much that you've, taken all the passion and the life out of it, and just, beaten it to death by overwatering the situation. And I love that it's not a 10, it's only a 9, right? Only a 9. You're actively watering it and taking care of something as you can, without going overboard, because I'm just as guilty of killing my plants from overwatering and overtending as the next person. But when we do, temper this with the right amount of water, with the right amount of, stepping back from the situation, now what happens, we take the stem, we've got, now they are deeply rooted into something that can really grow and truly come to fruition. We do have an 8 of Cups here as well, which means that this is something that, we're willing, perhaps we may be willing to walk away from a situation that isn't as emotionally fulfilling as this 9 of Cups, right? To go ahead and take and turn around and pick up and, uproot these, uproot whatever has been going on for you that is supposedly stable and lovely, but it just looks stable and lovely. It isn't actually. And the 8 of Cups is here saying that it isn't. So that's a possibility here as well. What's looking great really isn't spiritually fulfilling for you. It's not, it's not really an authentic situation for you. And so, you're going to go, off to, taking off. And I love that the moon is here. And in the full moon coming up, I think a lot of this is energy that's leading up into the full moon that we're going to be having at the end of the week, which is a very revolutionary, it's an Aquarian full moon. So it has a lot of individualistic tones. And we do need to look to taking care of our individual needs in order to ever be authentic in our relationships, in our work situations. You can't just push play all the time. Nobody wants to do that. I've never met anybody who loves a push play job. If they claim that they do, their life that isn't work shows that they don't. And that's all I have to say about that. But at any rate, so we may be willing, and that these two coming out together shows that, walking away from this kind of more idyllic situation, or these more idyllic ideas, may be exactly what we're doing, because the subconscious is calling. It's more than calling. You've got the two dogs in here, howling at the moon. The lobster is coming up out of the water, saying, yeah, even creatures are coming out of the water to heed this call. And we're working the indicator. The Five of Wands is back again, and the Justice card is back again, and the Lovers card is here, and the Sun. So things are afoot, things are shaking up a little bit, but don't be afraid of it. Just continue to check in with yourself, continue to strive for the things that fulfill you emotionally, the things that be your authentic self, show up as you in every given situation, and be willing to transplant and take and go with the things, pick up the things that are working for you, and continue to cultivate those things. So they do, you do come back around to a situation where, everything goes in cycles anyway. You do come back to a situation that is satisfying and is something that is actually the situation where you can feel like yourself. You can grow into more of yourself, in fact, and integrate not only the Sun card, which is here as well. So we have the Moon card, but then with the Lovers card, we get the relationships and the we're making the decisions that we that serve us, that really do serve us, and where again we can truly be ourselves. These people are naked, right? And the calla lilies are purity and transformation. We discovered that a couple of days ago. Oh, my computer. There we go. And then we have the Sun card. So again, being our authentic selves, being in the situations where, we come to where we are our authentic selves, and our sun, our soul, our sun, our central sun, our soul shines through. And those are the best situations where we can really show up in every aspect and, step into an even greater version than what we are at current. So there's that. I was going to pull one from the Mermaids and Dolphins. I almost feel like there's so much water in this one. We'll go ahead and pull one as a commentary and see what the Mermaids and the Dolphins have to say. Great reading. Really, I love how it's telling, the story that's being told. And that's what the tarot is. It's not about fortune telling. It's actually just a story about how we're writing our story and how we can move to greater and greater versions of that story, and what the energies are and how we can work with them. So you can either look at it and be scared by a bunch of swords like hanging over your head, or you can say, okay, how do I actually work with this? Oh, I see that guy's taking a break. Just read what's going on here, and don't and heed the calls that are there, and listen, have the feelings, let the feelings move through. I had some things come up for me earlier this evening, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to feel that. I'm like, no, I need to feel this all the way through, rather than just feel that initial kind of knee-jerk, like surprise, like, resistant front end, sensation, and shove it under the carpet, never to be seen again in that formation. Probably it'll come back in some other formation that I have no idea, no one would have, it's hard to understand what it actually is. So, what are the Mermaids? I pulled out the Mermaids because I know it is the end of Cancer season. And oh, by the way, the moon is the card of Cancer, but the full moon is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. on Friday, 23rd. We had our new moon in Cancer a couple weeks ago, but again, I keep telling you, go back to that reading that I said that would last us through the 23rd. Morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. So to come to those, to manifest the things that you want, to come to greatest fruition, to come to those, the greater and better version of what you are already, taking that time in the morning to rest, to meditate. Start the morning off with morning affirmations. Start the morning off fresh, but you give yourself, before you even pick up your phone out of your bed or turn on your laptop or what have you, take 5 minutes to yourself to just come out of your sleep. Gather yourself, say some great things to yourself, like really affirm, connect with your own divinity, connect with with higher power, with whatever's bigger than you. Say some, affirmations of gratitude. Look around your room, look around your house. Look out the window, just hear the birds, and then start into your day. But get yourself settled before you go anywhere else. Get settled and good with you, and then the rest of the world. All right, I'll leave it at that. I love you. Again, like, share, subscribe on any of the platforms. That's always the best way. Sharing is caring. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, if there's a tarot deck y'all want me to read from, just let me know. All right, have a good one. Bye.